Have you ever wondered how some expats just effortlessly adapt to the Danish culture? Well, their secret lies with these few apps. When I first moved here a year ago, I didn't know any Danish, I didn't have any friends, and honestly, that just made it so much more harder for me to just like get used to the new change and the surroundings around me. And I think that's like a common barrier that other people may also experience as an expat. So today I'm going to just show you these few apps that I wish I honestly knew before when I moved in, and this will like help your move and experience just a lot more seamless and just a lot more enjoyable, and just like hopefully shorten that time period where you're just like struggling to just like get used to things around here. So I can't go into this video without talking about the most important app that you have to use, and it's completely for free, all these apps are, and that's Google Translate. Google Translate, you know, it has the rep of like not being able to like translate things correctly. You're gonna have like some gibberish here, some gibberish there. But honestly, when it comes to like just dealing with like day-to-day things, then it works just perfectly fine for me. And the best thing is it is just like something that you probably already have on your phone, and you can easily like use it on like the laptop. So the thing is like over here, the like if you have like any instruction manual, then it's probably all in Danish. And over here you also have to do a lot of like appointments, which is through the call, and those have like pre-recorded messages which is completely in Danish. Occasionally you have like the really rare chance of that having an English option as well, but by default I think you can just assume that everything will be in Danish. And when it comes to text, I think it's a lot more intuitive that, oh, you can just take a picture, translate that. But when it comes to like the phone stuff, I found it really good that I will open like Google Translate on my computer, just press like that voice message button, and then from there just like keep your phone on loudspeaker so that it will directly translate in real time. I've also been to like a cooking class with my company where like the class is completely in Danish, and I just like put my Google Translate out there. It wasn't perfect, definitely, but it was just like more than enough for me to get like the gist and idea of things. And of course my co-workers were there, so they could help translate for me in that cooking class. But when it comes to like just like understanding things on the phone, then yeah, like it just like so easy to understand, and you can just like do everything without just like simply guessing which button means what. And honestly, a game changer. The next big thing that you'll probably experience when you move to Denmark is dealing with the public transport. Of course, you can go and easily buy like a public transport ticket at these machines, you know. As like a tourist, you probably also know that when you land at the airport, they're just there, super easy. But if you're gonna be living here, it's not sustainable to be just buying things from those machines, because when you use the buses, it's not gonna be there. So what app that I highly recommend you using is DSB. So before this, I used to recommend a lot of using Dot, but recently I've been starting to get into DSB, where you are able to do like a check-in check-out system, which is very similar to like a rejseplanen. So rejseplanen is like your public transport like card, which you just like pay money in order to use the public transport. So over here they don't take like cash. Like if you go to the bus, you're not gonna be able to like pay cash or like use your card payment. It has to either be like your rejseplanen or you just pay it through the app. So DSB has like a really good system where you don't have to pre-book like your whole journey. You can just like check in at like your specific location, and then you can be like, okay, I'm changing to like the train, and this will just like automatically be calculated for you. And you can even do like automatic checkout system, so in case you forget, then and they will use your location to determine whether you're on the public transport or not, then will automatically take it out for you. Because sometimes with the rejseplanen, I personally like keep forgetting to like check out, especially for buses, because it's like, oh no, I gotta quickly get out my stop. And yeah, so there's that. And also, if you're a youth like me, then you also can get discounted prices for your tickets, especially for their train ones. You just have to like click up there like, oh, for youth one ticket, and then after that, just like so seamlessly, you don't have to like pre-book any like youth card or register anything. It's just like all in the app. And a bonus thing is that if you keep using the app, you will accumulate points that you can also use in other shops such as like 7-Eleven. And honestly, it's just really good if you're gonna be living here long term. On that same note, that since you'll be using public transport a lot, most likely if you're not cycling, then I highly recommend you using the app rejseplanen. So rejseplanen is something that also has been recommended to me a lot, but last year when I first heard of it, they only had like a Danish website version, at least that I knew of. But then this year when I like looked it up again and it was recommended again, then they have like an app version which has which is in English option, and then you can just basically track your journey. So it's basically like how you would use Google Maps, like I want to get to A to B, and then which is my transport options. You can do the same thing in rejseplanen. The main difference about why I use rejseplanen more compared to Google Maps is that they have like the train track number that you have to get onto the platform, and that's just like not there in Google Maps. And sometimes if you're like in a hurry and you have to like find these signboards, or sometimes those platforms doesn't have like a clear like overall overview signboard that says like which train goes to where, you know, that kind of thing. And just having this app that already says it just makes your life a lot more easier. There are cases where you're able to still navigate which track it is even if you don't have it on the app, which is how I had been dealing it for a while. Is that they have like physical signboards, but it's all in Danish as well. It's kind of like you can kind of like guess where it is even if you don't know Danish like me. But personally, I think if you just want to make your life a lot more easier, especially in the beginning, you don't want to be like overwhelming yourself with just even moving around, you know. So having the rejseplanen will just save a lot of time, a lot of stress. Yeah. Now that you've done with the language barrier and also the public transport stuff, you're moving around, but now you want to know about the local scene. So what's going on around you, and how can you meet other people? Let's start off with just knowing what's going on around you. Just like most things here in Denmark, the newspaper is all completely in Danish as well. And if you want to start reading the news without having to Google Translate every single little thing, then I highly recommend you downloading the app called The Local. So The Local allows you to like read your local news, just as the name says. It's not only something that you can use in Denmark, you can also use it in other countries. And the main thing is that they also provide expat related advices as well, such as how to read your payslip, how to do your taxes and things like that. It's just like very expat specific things just to help you integrate your life here just a little bit more. The only catch is that for The Local, you can download it for free and you read like the basic articles, but if you want to read like everything, then you do have to pay like a small subscription fee. But I highly recommend it because it's really worth your buck, because you do get those expat specific advices, which is really good for in the beginning. And if you ever want to cancel later on, it's really easy to do so. And now finally we have the social scene. So if you want to be meeting other people, and chances are you just moved here, you don't know anybody, okay? So I recommend you using the app either Internations or Meetup. So I guess Internations is more for expats to meet other expats and then just like bond over through similar events and hobbies. Meetup is like a similar service, but I think it's like more generic for like just everybody to meet anybody. But I think a lot of expats just in general use both of these apps. And these two apps are also something that I personally used before. And when I go into like an event in Internations, other people within that app also told me about Meetup and vice versa. Some people also mentioned like Facebook events, but honestly I have no idea how to navigate and like find those Facebook stuff, and I feel like it's a little bit sketchy, maybe because I don't understand it and never used it. So having these two apps like Meetup and Internations just makes me feel a bit safer in my options. And also they have like such a variety of like different events in them. So there is like, I went to a visit to the planetarium, you can have like a food club, there's running clubs, there are yoga sessions, and there's like the typical like drinking where you just like chit chat and meet at the bar. And then from there I've met like quite a fair bit of people. So yeah, I think it's really good. You don't only meet other expats, you also meet people who are here in Denmark for a holiday and they just kind of wanted to like socialize a little bit. Or you also occasionally find other Danes who also want to just like talk and meet people and hear their experiences, and you can ask them a lot of these questions. That's how like I just in the beginning just like dealt with not knowing anybody, and eventually like just make sure you choose events that you genuinely enjoy, because from there I think it'll just be a lot easier in order for you to meet someone and build like a true friendship, you know. So that's also like where I met my friend. And yeah, it's almost weird to say like I met my friend through an app, but you know, if people can find love on the app, you can find friendship too. So with that, let's recap. We have like how many? I think that's definitely like more than 5 free apps. We have the Google Translate, DSB or Dot, but DSB over, right? Rejseplanen, journey travel planning app. You have the local, meetup, and internations. So that's like 6, 7. And for like a little bonus for those who stuck through to the end is I highly recommend downloading mobile pay. So mobile pay works similarly to PayPal, and over here it's like this super popular and common way in order to like pay someone or pay for things. So if you, for example, like right now it's April, so it's flea market season, okay? And when you go to these markets, they only accept either cash or mobile pay. They're not gonna have like these card payment like readers, so having mobile pay is just like a super easy way for them, and still maintaining like a digital sense, because I think barely people carry cash actually in Denmark anymore. So mobile pay has just been like a good alternative. And if you ever want to do like your secondhand selling, then a lot of people also like using mobile pay in order to pay you. And it's just honestly like super easy. I think it's probably easier to pay like using mobile pay than PayPal itself as well. So yeah, it's just really good, convenient, and a really must have for someone who will be living in Denmark. With that being said, that is like 7 free apps plus a bonus, all free with the exception of the local, which is free at first but a small subscription fee in order to like gain access to everything. And this will honestly help you just adapt to your new surroundings a lot more easier, and I just highly recommend it. You don't have to be an expat in order to use these things. You can also just use it like if you're moving here for study or whatever. And it's just something that I found really useful as someone who don't speak the language, don't know anybody, and just ended up living here. So I hope this helps you as much as it helped me, and yeah, see you next time.